Hi, you're watching Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels and networks and Fire TV and YouTube and Anchor Radio. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That gentleman out there is
Rick Levy in Escondido, California.
proudly wearing his Tequila Aficionado plum-colored royal purple T-shirt, which looks really good with your eyes, by the way. It kind of changes the color of your eyes, so it's very flattering.
You're going to make me blush, Mike.
Hey, somebody has to. Tonight and today, actually, we're day drinking today. Rick and I have Espanita tequila. I've been chasing this brand for a couple of years. As you can see, I'm gonna go right on a limb and tell you that I want to nominate this for brand of promise just in labeling. I think
absolutely.
I think now see look at the bottle here. It's emblazoned. We'll go deeper into the ins and outs of the stuff, but we're gonna flip this. We're gonna taste the juice first, tell you where it comes from later on. Okay, so here we go. This is the Blanco. All right, it's at 80 proof. That's 40 ABV. Oh, it's got bubbles. Oh, it has bubbles. It has bubbles. Now you're going to pour yours in the jarrito tumbler for tequila. I'm going to do the same. And let's see. We're going to let it open up a little bit. I don't know if you can see that or not. It's really very nice legs and tears. It's not runny, but it's sheeting very beautifully. It's a pristine color, so it's almost flat.
Clear.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to the light and the camera at the same time. I'm not being successful. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm getting some nice agave in the nose right away.
Yep. Oh, and it just you don't have to dig for it. It comes right up to me.
Oh, it's perfect.
Wow.
It's baked agave. They use masonry hornos.
Yes. We'll tell you a little bit more about the distillery in a second once we get through the nose. It's very aromatic. It's lovely. I get a little bit a touch of anise, which I'm beginning to really appreciate now on more of the well-made tequilas. We're getting a lot of that and it's not an additive. It's just a natural kind of an anise note that I'm getting.
Yeah, I'm picking that up too, and maybe just like a touch of celery behind it.
Yeah, there you go. It's lovely. It's very consistent all the way through. Oh, wow. I could just inhale this all day, man.
Right. That's a treat.
It is.
Some nice pearls here hanging on the glass.
Yes. Yeah, there's nothing that rings suspicious. It's just beautiful. Very, very, very aromatic for a Blanco.
Right. There's no artifacts.
No alcohol either. Are you getting any alcohol at all?
No.
Wow, just that beautiful baked agave. Let's dive in. Let's see what we got here.
Right.
Oh. Oh. What'd you get on the intake?
I don't know. I was like,
it's fairly for me at the front end. Just a little sweetness on the front end, and then.
Yeah, I was focusing on like the pepper explosion. It had a nice viscosity to it, but it wasn't thick. It's not coating the palate. I was enjoying that texture, and then the pop of pepper.
Yeah, it's got a beautiful mouthfeel. Very, very. It's a substantial tequila. It's almost beefy. I want to say it's almost a beefy, substantial agave agave forward, and it's got a really great finish. It's almost now see, the only alcohol I got was on retro nasal. The alcohol finally caught up to everything, but it's not in my glass, which is really odd.
Yeah. I'm getting this great pepper effect on the palate throughout the finish.
Mm-hmm.
The on the back end, the finish is really quite smooth. I'm not getting anything on the throat.
Yeah.
That agave flavor is lingering on the palate. It's a wet finish for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's really enjoyable. It's fantastic.
This is really it's substantial though. I mean the pepper from the agave and from the really stays on the palate, but it doesn't linger as if it were cloying or anything like that. It's almost just very natural.
It's doing exactly what I want a Blanco to do.
Oh yeah, she's behaving quite well. Let's give some background information on Espanita. Everything you want to know is on the back of this label. Okay, you probably can't see it. It's textured. The label itself reminds me of the Maestro Dobel label of the bottle.
Exactly.
Remember, it was the original bottles of Maestro Dobel when it first hit the market, and that's like the first Cristalino. They used to call it a Diamante Reposado because they didn't know what else to call it. It was a substantial. I used to call it the Terminator of bottles because it really, And of course now it's a lot lighter. They've changed the recipe. It's completely different. But this reminds me a lot of that old style embossed, raised lettering Espanita. Of course, it's 100% agave tequila.
What do we totally use this bottle as a weapon?
Oh yeah,
it's got some heft to it.
If you guys are by yourself and you're afraid to pick up that bottle because
so I have some notes on the production process.
Tell me.
This comes out of NAM 1467 Impulsora Rombo in Aromatic Los Altos Sur. So it's just at the they call it the gateway to the Highlands there in Aromatic. The agaves are sourced from the distillery's estate. So it's a single estate. Let's see. They bake in masonry ovens for 72 hours.
Right.
Then they're using a roller shredder for the maceration. And then I believe they're doing open air distillation with natural yeast.
You mean open air fermentation?
Yeah, fermentation, right.
Yeah.
In stainless vats.
They have according to the website's beautiful, by the way. The website is full of beautiful pictures. They don't do a whole lot on social media, like Twitter and Instagram. Every once in a while you'll see a picture, but check out their Instagram as well. Beautiful pictures. Here's the story. Okay, here's the story of the background of this. Impulsora Romba changed my life. Okay, the distillery. This is in fact, let me get the name is 1467. It is the original home of Cabo Wabo, which
it's not the original home.
Well, the popularity of Cabo Wabo was in that distillery, and I know that when Lisa, your sister, Lisa Peach, our CGO now, when she heard that, she says, well, Cabo Wabo changed my life to sipping tequila. And I have a really weird story. I remember going to Juarez years and years ago. I was living in New Mexico, and we did a day trip to Juarez, and we went down there, and I found a tequila called Zafarrancho, which every once in a while you'll see. And it changed my life because it was a reposado, and I'm thinking, I had my first taste, and I go, how did they get the pepper in there? It was so peppery. It was almost like a hot pepper, and I was just getting used to the green chili that you get in New Mexico and jalapenos and things like that. I was so enamored with that tequila. And then I found out that it came from that distillery. And when I started doing research on Cabo Wabo, that was a distillery they were at. Now you tell me it's not the original one. Which one's the original one?
Right. So the tequila you just mentioned, which I won't try to pronounce myself,
Okay.
and Cabo Wabo started out at NOM 1360, Corporation Ansan down in the valley in Tequila.
Oh, no kidding.
Right. And then it was like somewhere in the early 2000s, like between late 2001 and early 2005, there were all of these agaveros that were opening distilleries. And,
right.
you know, there was just
in
that time frame, there was like 43 distilleries that came online in that same window. So during that time, like early on, Impulsora Rombo used to be just used to be the brand owner of the tequila you were talking about. And then they went out and they started their own distillery up in Aromatic. And Cabo Wabo went with them.
No kidding. Yeah, there's a whole, if you follow Cabo Wabo, there's a whole story about how they, right before Sammy sold it, and there was a lot of inconsistency with the flavor at that point. It was getting a lot of bad press right before the sale, and so they moved to the distillery, and now it's one of those few tequilas that actually improved with moving to a new distillery. They're actually made at San Nicolas, where they used to make Corazon. Now they make Espolón there, and they make Cabo Wabo there for Campari. And but anyway, I had a really soft spot in my heart for Espanita because it had come from a distillery whose tequila changed my life. So there you go. That's my little story of Espanita. What do you think? Worthy Brand of Promise nominee?
Absolutely. We got to put it in for the profile. We got to put it in for the bottling.
Yes, for the packaging
and,
as well. Yes.
And you know, I'm thinking it probably qualifies for the value category as well.
What's the price point? What do we know about it?
So I believe the MSRP is 30, but I found it as low as 27.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And
right, I'll buy that.
And so you can buy the whole line for about $100.
And you know, this is a real old school tequila. It's not a slouch. This is definitely worth looking for if you can find it. I know it's available in California. I'm not sure about Texas, but if you can get it in Texas, do so and tell us what you think down below in the comments. If you're watching us on YouTube, that's our take on Espanita Blanco. But stick with us because we're going to go through the entire line here with Rick and myself. I'm here, Mike Morales in San Antonio. That gentleman out there is
Rick Levy in Escondido.
You have been watching and listening and probably reading, sipping off the cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. Don't forget to subscribe to wherever you listen and watch us. And whatever you do, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.